tell me, how did this anthology came together? How did four directors came together to create this anthology?
We've been working for a long time. We were planning to get on to do something, in terms of an anthology in Tamil for a long time. Ashi, who put this thing together, came and met me during this 100 years of Indian cinema. She wanted to do something with cinema as the central idea, with four directors. When this Lust Stories happened in Hindi, so she wanted to set one up here in Tamil as well. So she came and she was talking, and in principle, I was very excited about doing an anthology, but I was not happy doing a love story. I thought when we are expanding and getting into an international platform like Netflix, I thought we should do something which points out what's there in this in this society. I said, then if it's honor killing, then I am happy to be part of it. There is a chance for us to start a discussion and a narrative.
When did you decide to cast Sai and then Prakash Raj? When did the casting come together?
I decided I'll do a story of a father and a daughter, and Prakash Raj was part of my previous film called Asuran. He did a small role, and when I saw him working, see, we all have seen his work, but when I saw him working, I thought that he's more than what we see as his work. Someone like him being part of a story like this would add value for the story, and as an actor, he has the ability to shift from one end of the spectrum to the other within a few seconds. Like, the father was the first one whom I decided. Prakash Raj was the first one that I decided, okay, he will be the father. Then when I was thinking about the daughter, then I wanted a very vulnerable, fragile, and soft and innocent looking girl to be the daughter. And then I thought she would Sai Pallavi would be the ideal choice for me, to see Prakash Raj and Sai Pallavi on screen as father and daughter would do half the work that I had to do in terms of writing. So just both of them being there would reduce my work by 50%.
What did you think of the role and how did you look at it?
Honestly, I didn't know what I was signing up for because sir had given a thin line, say a small brief about the story, but I didn't get the whole script. So up until the last day, I think I kept asking him, sir, can I have the script? He said, I don't have one, we'll decide on the set. And I went there, and that's when I was even aware of the world that he was creating. So he tried to incorporate what was comfortable for me, and so I think in a way it wasn't very alien. Sometimes you will want to you'll have few thoughts in your head that you'll want to put it out there, say about whatever is happening around you in the community and in the world. I've never been able to articulate my thoughts and put it in such a way where it was just not an emotional outburst. But when I did this film, I felt that okay, I at least could do a part, and I felt a little bit relieved or less guilty that I'm not quiet when all of this is happening around me. So in a way, I felt maybe that was the purpose I was looking for.
The last scene, which is also a very long scene, how grueling was it for you? And both you and Vetri, if you can tell me the process of shooting that one.
The whole idea of this short film started with that conversation only. I had this daughter inside a room locked up and the father standing in the corridor, and both of them talking through the last few minutes. I was adding each and every moment, even the smallest of movements and everything. I was just adding on to it. Someone whom you love the most, you care for the most, is going through so much of pain, and you are just standing there because you believe uh, something is greater or more important than the love you have for a daughter or a son or anyone. And I just wanted to get a very up close view of the pain. Moment this idea came into my mind, I knew it's going to be very, very, very haunting, very disturbing, and very painful for all of us involved.
The emotion was too strong for me. I carried it until I think for a while. Vetrimaran sir has this whole idea. He knows what is happening. He is thinking from my character, dad's point of view, and all of this. But for me, all I knew was me and my emotion and how I felt about my dad doing this for me. Right now, I'm able to talk about it, but that day it was too hard for me to even utter few dialogues. I would just be mumbling, I'll swallow it in, and it was very hard that day. And later, when we dubbed, I again had the same emotion, and right now, when I watched it, it's the same. So I realized that I don't know how he had placed this whole scene or how he had managed to get us to that point, because even between the shots he would sit and discuss not about anything else but about what is happening around, where subconsciously we're thinking about this and we put ourselves in their space. For me it was, how could my dad do this to me? I'm going through so much pain, how can my dad do this to me? So I just held on to that emotion alone, and it was too strong. I think just with that I did the whole scene.
It's not easy to watch a movie, Mr. Vetrivalan. What is that? What is the impact that you want to create when among the among your viewers?
For a general audience, I think we all should feel guilty and responsible for letting these things happen and not questioning it. When someone is proud of their caste, their creed, their color, whatever, have you ever questioned it, or have you questioned yourself on these things? There are a lot of people. So many of us have our caste name as the surname. Have we ever questioned that aspect of it? That's a practice that all of us have not questioned. So for a common viewer, I feel that I want this film to question their thought process. On a larger scale, I feel that if a film like this could start a discussion, continue creating or supporting a discussion that's happening already, then I think we are there. Okay? That's what I would like to do this film to do.
So how easy it is to marry art with a cause or a belief that you have?
It's very challenging to be apolitical at this point in history, not just in India, in the world. Today, the power of right wing is immense. So you have to have your opinions. You need to be political. You cannot be apolitical. And the challenge of being a film writer for films and visual media, this political alliance should not be propagative. The last thing that I would want is to be my films being a medium of propaganda. I want to tell stories, and those stories should invoke certain thoughts.
And Sai Pallavi, you took a wonderful decision when you declined the endorsement of skin lightening cream, and which cost you quite a bit of money also. Like it would have faced you a good amount. That was a very was it a thought out decision, or this decision came just naturally to you?
I've grown up with people around me who were, they always would compare their skin to mine and they would feel less, and I didn't like that thought. I felt that they were equally pretty, but people were saying that no, you're not because of your skin. And then what's the purpose of having whatever money they were going to give? I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I can anyways do another 2-3 and then earn whatever I had to, but I wouldn't be happy with myself. It's not like I always had this confidence. I was trying another 100 creams on my face. I had a lot of acne, and I went through my phase too. But when the film released and the character did very well, Premam, I did a
Mhm.
character named Malar. So I saw that people enjoyed and they enjoyed my role, and I was surprised that they didn't find those blemishes on my face as something disturbing. And from there, it developed, and I started seeing that girls, younger girls who had such complexes, they felt better about themselves because they said, see, that girl is loved for her role. She has all those, so maybe character is all that's important. So in that way, it was even a learning for me. It's not like I always had all this figured out when I got into the industry or even knew things about myself.
My final question, from here, like where we stand today, where Indian cinema stands today, do you see more and more such stories, such gritty stories, such real stories, and stories which are very intense as well as disturbing being told?
It's not about disturbing or gritty or those things. I think more relevant stories could be told through the OTTs because two things: the mainstream theatrical compulsions are lesser, and then the limitation of a censor thinking writing mind is not going to be there. So that way it is going to be quite liberating to have some more relevant and sensible stuff being written, and the norms being questioned. With the theatrical release setup, you generally tend to go with the norms. You don't want to question the norms. Here we can do that.